Okay, let's run the stock tires. Road tires. This car really needs ESC and traction control. Traction control not so much, but ESC kind of important. Not sure how long my controller is gonna last. I'm charged in a long time. This car is really hard to drive. At low speeds it's fine. It's really fun at low speeds. But at high speed this car is just so unstable and floaty. Unpredictable. Especially with the road tires, it's awful. The brakes are excellent in this car though. Except at high speeds. At high speeds they suck. Now, at a speed of over 180, 170, 180, this car becomes so unpredictable. If I can make one lap without crashing, I'd be really surprised and happy. Especially here with the elevation change. Oh, see the car, it's going all over the place. But it's definitely worse if you equip the supercar tires. The mishandling of this car, it gets even worse. The competition for this car, the Audi RS3 hatchback, handles, if this is in handling, it's like a 4.6 at high speeds. The Audi is like a 9, or like, okay, not a 9, it's like a 7.6 for if you consider all types of cars. If you only count basic street cars like this, it's like a 9. The brakes in this are better though. The ESP works, the ABS works really well. The Audi has all-wheel drive versus this is front-wheel drive. But at this power level, this horsepower level, you barely notice it. I mean, you obviously notice the difference. It's just not so much so that it would make this car worse to drive. That's definitely better with the street car tires. It makes sense that the default setting is street car tires, because it handles better with them. Versus the Audi, it has by default supercar tires. Fuel consumption is very similar on both cars. Both cars have a 50-liter fuel tank. Power and engine configuration is similar. Both inline-4 turbocharged engines. The Audi has, I believe, 1.5 bar of boost, versus this has 1. This is more fun to drive at low speeds. The Audi is much more fun to drive at high speeds. This car you're constantly trying to avoid getting off the track. At high speeds, at least. Oh shit. For the normal road in real life, this is more than enough though. We will almost never use even just a percentage of the performance of this car, except maybe the brakes in an emergency, but for the street this is more than enough. For the track, it's just a bit too unpredictable and unstable at high speeds with the ESC turned off. You really want to turn it on. In real life I turn this on instantly. It's just too dangerous without it. In the video game you can try to master it without it, because if you crash then nothing happens. Just a bit annoying. A bit sad, frustrating. In real life you're like screwed. Even if you don't die or get injured, you destroy the car financially, it's gonna be rough. Unless you're like super rich, in which case it's still a nuisance. Having to deal with paperwork and everything, or having to hire somebody who does it for you. But at low speeds, this car, it handles much better than the Audi. It's also more fun to drive. Feels alive and playful, versus the Audi, which is a bit boring. It's super predictable and fast. It's also a bit boring because of it. It's not really that playful, especially at low speeds with Quattro. Everything is just business. Like for example, just to give you a point of reference, with the Audi I was able to complete 5 laps in a row instantly without any crashes. Versus with this I tried 3 times last time I played this. I tried 3 times in a row to finish a fast lap, where I actually try to be fast. And all of 3 of them I crashed at a high speed. Whereas I know now that this car is incredibly unstable at high speed, so I try to not even get into that speed range unless on the certain parts of the track where it's kind of not necessary, but where it's like really high speed sections of the track. You're just supposed to drive fast there. In a stable car. Like the one that we just about to enter. And now this is where the nightmares begin. We will see. 200, so far so good. And you can start to see at 270, at 220, even going in a straight line, it becomes really floaty. I'm gonna ease it off very slowly here. So, because even just taking off the gas is gonna unsettle the car. Going very light on the brake. Yeah, I think this was the most dangerous part, so we will probably finish this. Gotta be careful here too, very easy on the brake. I really like the modern transmissions. They prevent you from downshifting when you're in too high of a gear or too high. Like, you cannot destroy the engine by misshifting. That protects against that. We've used about 8 liters of fuel for 1 lap. Not that much, but considering the tank is really small. So this is the actually timed lap. The first lap is always just warm up. So nice that we managed to finish 1 lap without crashing. Drive really carefully, so maybe we can actually master this car. Maybe not master it, but use it effectively to drive. I can see that liveliness and playfulness at low speed is what makes this car so unstable at high speed, because it doesn't have much downforce. It has a really soft, wobbly suspension, and at the high speeds that just makes it really unpredictable. And when you have the supercar tires, which are super sticky when they're warm, the little bit of unsettledness that pull to the left or to the right with the super sticky tires gets even worse. You can really tell the Audi is designed better for speed. It's like a real race car. You can feel the downforce. Even at very high speeds it stays absolutely perfectly spot on. And you can see with this car I have to correct. Under high speeds I have to correct to the left or to the right, otherwise the car's gonna go off the road. When you have the supercar tires on this car, even the braking gets sketchy, but with the normal tires, this braking is fine. Yeah, for real life, this car, for the road, it would be fine though. Like, we're going 160 kilometers an hour. Where in the world would you go 160 kilometers an hour in twisty, bumpy roads? In the public road you wouldn't do that ever. You would stick under 130 most of the time. Only exception would be the German Autobahn, where I could see this being really dangerous if you just turn all the stability control and so on, you turn it off and you just hit the highway. And you don't expect this sudden unpredictableness. Also, the Audi as a competitor to this is a lot faster. In the top end it manages 270 km an hour. This one tops out at 230. on this track. But you have to keep in mind that this is not the top spec of Golf. There's the Golf R, which sadly is not in this game, which is not only all-wheel drive, just like the Audi, it also has improved aero in the wing, just like the Audi. So I wouldn't be surprised if that thing handles comparably. Also has a bit more power than this. I don't know how long I will be able to play, because I haven't charged my controller in a long time. I hope I still have my controller cable there later for charging it. I have no confidence in this car's abilities at speed. With the Audi I would blast through this at like a 50 kilometers an hour faster than with this car. Yeah, even just going off the gas, which normally is no problem, it's already enough to unsettle this. A nice thing though is that the road tires are on temperature if you drive it. Not that crazy high speeds with high G-forces. These are designed for the road, for the public road, so obviously they have to be on temperature most of the time when you drive normally on the public road. Versus the supercar tires are hard to get up to temperature. Quickly have to check something. Okay, all good. I think with the Audi we managed a 820, which is not that great for Nürburgring, but considering my driver ability, it's decent. The fastest I ever managed was with a motorcycle around 7 minutes, with a actually with the Fireblade I think, and with the car, I don't want to lie, but I think it's 6 something with a supercar, Formula 1 car. 650, something like that. But I have no way of checking. When you don't try to push it really hard, this car is a lot of fun. Especially the braking is fun in this car, because there's a lot of brake dive and a lot of grip. Both combined gives you a really visceral, understandable feeling for the brake. Versus some cars, they have this really faint brake signature. They do slow down, but you just can't really coordinate it well. You're driving, it just doesn't feel like it's doing anything when you hit the brakes. Versus this car, you can really tell it's braking. Man, we are already 8 minutes in and it's still a long way to go. Also, I can imagine if you drive a real Volkswagen Golf, you get a lot of feedback from the steering wheel, from the chassis, from your seat, versus if I play with a controller, the only feedback I get is visual in nature. So can imagine it being a lot less sketchy in real life. And the controller's a lot more twitchy. It makes the car a lot more nervous. You see how the steering wheel moves, or you would never move a steering wheel like that in real life. Unless you purposefully want to crash. The car becomes really floaty at these high speeds. It's really not pleasant. Lightly easing off the gas, letting the car slow down itself. Even if I just give it a little bit of brake, it already veers off to the right. What's really cool about this car, which the Audi does not have, this car shows you the current power output of the engine and the torque. Okay, we have 10:40, 2 minutes slower than the competition. Now that we have done 2 laps, we can see in the top center screen what our current relation to the last lap is. We are now 0.4, around 0.4 faster than last time. Now it's 1 second. We are already through almost half of the fuel tank. We have 34 liters left, which is not surprising since this car only fits 50 liters. Whereas most race cars have at least 70 or even more, like 90 or 120. Some examples having up to 150 liters of fuel. 3 times as much as this. Which I guess on the road is fine if you're driving really conservatively with the fuel usage. Gotta be easy here. We are already 3 seconds faster than last time, but this is a spot where I crash a lot with this car. Gotta very gently correct the missteering. At low speeds, this car, despite its playful and bouncy nature, it's really precise. Also like the way it sounds, this car, when you drive it. The tires, the engine, the wind noises. This car really likes it if you're gentle and careful while driving. We have slayed 6 seconds of our last best, which is not a lot considering how slow the lap was. I like the way the power comes on. It's still a bit delayed till most of the power arrives, but the torque is instant, which is important. I'd say the power is appropriate given the setup with the front wheel drive and the street tires. Let's punch it here after the apex. Pulls nice. Brakes like a beast. Gonna lose a bit of time here. Still have to cut a lot of time to be competitive in this car though. Wow, now we are actually 20 seconds. That's a 10-20. Still over 10 minutes, which is not good. This car strikes a really nice balance between calm and serene driving and brutal accelerating performance. I really like the balance. can tell this is very well engineered car and conceptualized. Especially the braking is really visceral. Would be nice if these controllers would be a bit less twitchy. Sure, you can set it up somehow. Oh, that was risky in this car. Wow, 30 seconds lane of our last best. $240. Modern transmissions are incredible. In an old car this would have fucked me up really badly. This misshift. But this is so smooth. You have to stick it really close to the wall or you get a error on a warning, a track limit warning. $10.4. That's nice. Let's not get crazy here. Stay consistent and smooth rather than trying to be cool and crash the car. That would be sad. Five seconds off, that is below 10. If we can get a 9, that would be really nice. Six so far. You gotta really pay attention to what the car is doing. Can't just expect it to kind of do it on itself, going straight. We have 26 liters of fuel left. We used up half our fuel tank. Just crazy. That was like under 100 kilometers and half of our fuel tank is gone. Which would equate to like around 25 to 30 liters per 100 kilometers, which, considering we are hammering it the whole time, not that bad. I mean, hammering, the car is so relaxed and serene. It's hard to tell we are hammering it, but we are. Constantly putting out 370 newtons and between 200 and 300 horsepower usage all the time, except in the braking zones. I mean, the power has to come from somewhere, right? The brakes are strong, but you can modulate them really, really well. I really like it. The transmission is super fast and smooth. Not sure if there's DRS here or if it's the walls or whatever. Always the cars sound a bit different in that part of the track. We are sub 9 minutes so far. I like the exhaust pop. You definitely want to run the street car tires on this. It's so much better. Being a little bit funky with it. Gotta give it just a little bit of an impulse and just let it do the rest itself. Just gotta wait for it. Just wrestling it through that thing. The downside of all this super precise action you have to do is that my hands are getting really numb and cramped. I was preferring to go a little bit slow in that corner and then accelerating rather than overshooting it. I love it. Blasting down that hill and just slamming the brakes. Oh, that was not nice. Using the track width effectively right there. Not braking here, just letting the car slow down a bit naturally. I think it's the best, safest move here. And yeah, you can tell, I just gave it a tiny little bit of a steering input, and it just swayed off to the side by itself. Just letting it do its thing. Feels really unnatural at first though. $941, I'll take it. That's a nice score. It will be really hard to beat that, especially since I started off slow. If you get off the gas, the car makes a weird noise. Not sure what that is. Oh crap. Oh. Wow, that was close. Just staying right under that speed limit where the car becomes unstable. Correcting is so hard with the controller. Wow. Just abusing the car through there. Man, this car is fun. Brakes are incredible. Wow. I think this is the wastegate, right? Turbo wastegate? Just sounds really weird for a turbo wastegate. We almost emptied the whole fuel tank. Let's ease it off here. Go up to 160 and just cruise. This is what you would do on the highway most of the time. Pick a stable speed you like and just cruise along, staying in your lane, trying to pay attention. Eventually, sometimes overtake a car, maybe give it a little gas on the overtake. And this does that just fine. Alright, we went from... Last time I tried this, we went from crashing 3 times on a row on each attempt to being able to finish 5 laps in one go without crashing. Replay, we will save. Oh, this thing actually does have a spoiler. I didn't know that. Alright, well this is running. I mean it's already 17:49. Maybe I should stop the stream. But I want to drive a little more. Need to plug in the controller. Can I still use it? Yeah. Okay. Main menu. So we try now. Audi, the RS3 Sportback. The stock one. Confirm. Go. The controller should be charging right now. Hello? Hello? Okay, I just made sure my mic muting works. We have to add a little bit of fuel to this car. 55, it has 5 liters more and it uses supercar tires by default. You can even give it hypercar tires, but I think the stock tires is best. Drive. Wow, this is different. Okay, the steering's a lot more stiff. The brakes are really strong too. The turbocharger engage is quicker on this. This is a lot less springy, a lot more predictable. I feel like you're sitting a little bit lower. This turns a lot more predictably. The brakes lock up a lot faster than the Golf. Yeah, this is a whole different animal. The brakes are still excellent, and they're a lot more predictable than the Golf. And now at this high speed section, you can really feel the downforce and the mechanical grip working. I can go through here full confidence, first try. Even up this bump, slowly starting to brake, giving it brake. The tires in the front are slowly starting to warm up. I can't get the rear tires to warm up. You really want the Golf R as a competitor to this, not the Golf GTI Club Sport. And you can tell it's much more under acceleration. It's just so much better. It is not as fun and as it's rough and precise and predictable. Versus the Golf, you're like floating around. This is full attack, full time. Even though this is only about 1 point of stat difference, this is much better. I would never be able to take these corners so aggressively in the Golf without at least 500 hours of practice. And yeah, this car has a bit more boost. 0.5. Compared to the Golf, this thing has zero chill. And the all-wheel drive is so nice. And you can tell I'm going 180 almost. 180 now. Full confidence. Gotta ease it off a little bit. I don't wanna. Just pulls you around the corner, no squealing. 100% smooth. And even though these tires are cold, they still perform really well. I have nothing to say. This is just so good. After driving the Golf, this is like And with the Audi, this is fun. It's not scary. You can just go full out. And ESC and traction control is the same as on the Golf. And we're going already 260 and it's still completely planted. 270. I'm just gonna lift it off here lightly. And see, I could have never done this with the Golf first try. Never. And it wasn't even that. I almost fucked up. I almost sent the car into oblivion. But it's just so predictable and I could correct. And just amazing car. Let's listen a bit to the sounds the car makes. You also get the exhaust pop. You can hear the turbocharger. Second lap, 10 liters of fuel, 15 liters of fuel burned. Actually, the brakes feel nicer in this. They're not as super grippy, but they're just a little bit sharper, like everything else on this car's just a bit sharper than the Golf. my hands starting to cramp. Which is bad. Cramping hands are unprecise. Wow, that was perfect. With this car, it's so fast. You actually have to look far ahead instead of in front of you. Okay, we managed 840. Nice. Replay. I'm gonna make a little video.